Hi Ricky, thanks for joining us. 3 points, 3 goals and a clean sheet. Just wondering your reflections on the game today?
I think I was really pleased with the first 20 odd minutes. I thought we played excellent, moved the ball really well, played with a bit of vigour, and we were dynamic in our movements. Finished to Berwick have changed it, and it became a little bit more of a battle. But I felt in that moment there for the last 20 minutes of the first half, I felt it became a wee bit, not sloppy, but it became a bit scrappy. We were a bit loose on the ball. The game was a little bit about territory in that moment, so we had to try and get it forward with a bit more quality. We kept losing the ball, but there was no. Even in that point, we didn't really have to ride too much in terms of chances against us. And I just felt at half time the boys needed just to calm down, get back on the ball, and ultimately we needed that second goal. And you could see it as soon as the second goal went in, we were like, right, okay, we're on our way here, and you could see the confidence in the lads.
And unfortunately, a few times after games over the season, we've had a wee chat, and there's been a lot of chances, balls just not gone into net. Yeah. So it must be quite nice seeing 3 different goal scorers on the score sheet today as well, not just kind of Lennon Walker or Cammy Bredner or one of the lads that have scored a few goals this season.
Yes, exactly, and that's something that we when I was putting together the squad in the summer, I'm thinking we've got goals in various different places. Mark Kelly, Zach Butterworth, Jamie Walker's got goals in him if he plays a little bit higher as well. Connor, Cammy's got goals in him. I've not even mentioned Ross McNeil, he's always got goals in him. Lenny Walker's got goals. So there's plenty of goals in our team. Chance creation, if you look at the middle of the park, what we've got, we've got Dom McMahon, we've got John Guthrie, Callum Biggar, Ryan Murray. So there's chances that we can carve out, and ultimately there's games that we've looked back on and we thought, right, we could have had that game won comfortably. So, but ultimately it's up to the lads when they go across that line to say, right, okay, we're going to carve out chances, and when it is that tight game, I always fancy our lads to go and win the game. It went the other way last week. We failed to clear the ball, gave them a throw-in, gave them a corner kick, and then they scored the last goal. But I've seen us do that, and we should be that team that does that. So we had to swallow that bit of pill last week and move on. And certainly we played some good stuff today, but as you say, carved some good opportunities out, which I was really pleased at.
Yeah. And are we switched back to a back four today from the game against Trinent? Is that more in recognition of the opponent, or did you not quite like what you saw on last Saturday?
I believe as a coach you need to be adaptable, and formations and shapes and systems and style of play to a point becomes part of that. So I know the group's got the ability to go and play a 3, and I know the groups have got the ability to play 4, and whatever happens in front of that. It's sometimes to do with the opposition, dependent, sometimes to do with the environment that we're going to play in. Obviously personnel can dictate that as well, who you've got available, who's on form. So there's various different things that go into picking a team and picking a shape, but a shape's only the starting point. There's principles of play within any shape that we always work on regardless, so and that's the main thing for me.
Yeah. And you're saying about personnel there, so it was really nice to see some of the lads that have been out injured get more minutes on the legs, with the likes of Callum Biggar, Greg Stewart, and even Zach Butterworth as well coming back. Is that something that's really important going into what is always a busy festive period and then the turn of the new year?
The squad, I've said to you before, Keith, that put together a big squad this year, with the potential that maybe 1 or 2 that goes out on loan. Lewis Allen obviously got injured, Leo McCartney got injured as well, along with some of the other ones, but we've never really struggled for a team this year, which has been important. Obviously the results in some games didn't go our way regardless of the team that went out, but some of our performances and results have been really good, and I want us to be positive from now. It's really important that we be positive and keep pushing and keep working hard, keep progression. That's the only thing for it, but having a squad and the different changes that I can make on the side is a golden ticket for me, and it gives us the opportunity to go and make changes if we have to chase the game, go and make changes if we have to be more solid. Today it wasn't about changes, it was about consistency, because I felt Lenny could get a goal and get us ahead of the game, and which he obviously done. And I kind of made the changes just through course because the guys have been working really hard, and to get them on the park essentially. But I was pleased with the whatever it was, 10 minutes, those guys came on, and I want them to push in training. The squad completely changed from last week to this week, so and that'll happen. And they all knew that at the start of the season, that look, this is not about a starting 11, this is about a bigger squad, and if we're going to do anything, then everybody's got to buy into that.
Yeah, and if I can highlight one player, I know maybe not particularly for this game, but just know the way that they play, because I've said this in commentary, and it's probably you as an ex-midfielder explain it better than me. When you watch Callum Biggar play, the way that he receives the ball with that half turn in the open stance, he's always ready to go to that. How important is that for a midfielder? Yeah,
well, exactly. He's always ready for the ball coming towards him, and he's always thinking about the next part of that action of receiving the ball, because if you receive the ball in your square, then the next part you're probably going to go back the way, but he always looks to go in the half turn, but so does Marky, and you're missing somebody there, John Guthrie. Your boys will probably slag him for that, but John's outstanding at that, really, really good. And John has another attribute that maybe Callum's still to work on. Callum obviously added a goal, he's added a couple of goals this year, which was something that I always wanted Callum since I knew him as a wee guy all those years back, to add into his game. And my question was, what is it good enough just to be a really tidy midfielder? I don't think it is. Anybody who plays in the midfield for us has to add something, whether it's defensive quality and attacking threat. And it's the same with other lads, it's as simple as that. But you're right to pick up on Callum. I was pleased for him that he was back today. He was back obviously last week in a different type of game, and I thought he battled away well. But today, I think it was definitely a game for him on a nice football surface. You mentioned John, so I'm going to take the opportunity, because this is something I've seen this season. John, this season, you always know what you're going to get. You get a solid performance for John, but I think I've seen him be more attack-minded in his play, and I've seen a bit more quality, like his through balls and the way that he's using the ball, compared to last season, where he was that kind of number 6, that kind of defensive shield. But he seems to be far more forward-thinking. Is that something that was worked on kind of through pre-season? Definitely. Again, John's another one I've known for a while, and John's a fantastic player, there's no doubt about it. He used to play right back for us as well when he first came in, but always knew him as a centre midfielder that he could go and do a job in there. I think last year, you referenced that, it was more to do with our kind of way of playing last year. Right. It was a bit more structured, a bit more compact, and he ended up working for under the game. This year we've had a bit more of the ball, so it gets to show how good he can be on the ball. And if you look at, if anybody's interested in stats, John's got the best stats in the team for keeping the ball, so that's testament to him. And it's not just square passes, it's passes that can go and hurt people, but he's got other sides to his game as well. He can drive forward, so if somebody decides to stop that pass, that he can drive forward, and he's got that good burst of pace. But we've got so many good players in there, Keith, and I had to remind them of that, and sometimes I need to tell them, remember, you're really, really good, and we feel we should be up the table a little bit higher. We're not. We need to deal with that, we need to move on, and it's about what we do now. So like I say, I want the guys to believe in themselves, and take that confidence into any game, because I know we can beat anybody in this league. It's not an easy league, every game's be tough. Clydebank next week, I'm sure you're going to ask me about that, but there's nothing in this league at all, and if you look at some of the results that have happened over the last 6 weeks, you can see that. So for us, it's getting back to work, improving what we need to improve on, and moving forward. Okay, I'll refrain from going through each player and asking you my own questions about each of the one individually, because you'll be here all night if I keep asking you questions. But just to touch on Clydebank, obviously came up, free scoring, they're flying high at the moment. A big game, I'm sure they'll bring a lot of people with them here at Alliance Park next weekend, so just a case of getting the head down, obviously take today, and then in next week, get the boys ready for that. Yeah, I think they were still playing before I came out. I think they were losing 2-1 to Stranraer. I think I'm right on that. But Clydebank's a good side. I went to see them a couple of times. Excellent crowd. Big following. And they've got good players in there. But it's nothing for us to be, bothered about. Really, we need to concentrate on ourselves. We respect every opposition, but we need to make sure that we're at it. Keith, and we are competing for absolutely every ball, and we are being positive with everything that we do, and we make sure we get our shape right, our system right, our work rate right, and our mentality right, and then if we can do that, I'm confident we go and win any game of football regardless of who it's against. So we'll see. Clydebank will come with their own ideas, of course, but it's up to our boys to show and play to their potential and show everybody what they can do. Well, thank you very much. All right, cheers, mate. Right.